it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, oh yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to This Mess is Holy. We're Diamond
and Alex,
husband and wife, parents, and two souls figuring it out in real time. So this isn't your typical church service. It's a little messy, a little holy, but 100% real.
Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on our marriage, faith, and family life to talk about what God is teaching us in the middle of it all.
But you have to realize they rely on that. They rely on us not being whole. They rely on us relying on them. They rely on us relying on them. So the moment that that's power. The moment that we reclaim our power and say, I'm not showing up today. I'm not putting this company over me and my family. I can't do that. And guess what? You can keep your money because that's all you have. You can keep it. Exactly. Right. But what are we consenting to? We're consenting to giving them the power. The moment we take that, we revoke our consent. I don't have to do this. No one is coming into your house while you're laying on the bed, ripping the covers off of you, and dragging you by your feet to your job. They try to guilt you. That's really, I said manipulation, but it's guilt. You know what I mean? When you tell your boss, I just can't make it in today, and I'm going to take it unpaid. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to pay me when I'm not here. That's not a fair exchange. I'm not giving you my skill. Therefore, you shouldn't have to give me your money. But essentially, they try to guilt you into making you think that you have to do it when you don't. It's just backwards. The whole way that everything is being ran is backwards. And I think that's why we're having so many storms, so many tsunamis, so many forest fires, uncontrollable, because Earth can't speak to us the way that we speak to each other on this plane. Earth can only speak to us by what she's able to show in her own power. Where does her power lie? Within herself, within Earth. Oh, I'm gonna start some shit up, baby. You want to catch this forest fire? You want to catch this tsunami? You want to catch this flood? You better start listening up, because if you don't start reevaluating, I'm gonna make you reevaluate. Because are you thinking about going to work the next day when your house gets flooded? Are you thinking about going to work the next day when your house just burned down? No. It brings you back to reality. She's not doing it to hurt us. She's not doing it. What's important? Because she can't speak to us the way I'm speaking to you. I'm going to make you listen. I'm going to make you see that this is wrong. There are so many other priorities, because the more you give back to yourself, essentially the more you give back to Earth. And why am I saying that? Because even in the Bible, we were made from earth, dirt, clay, and God spoke life into us. We are a piece of her, and that is a fact. We're a piece of her. When we hurt ourselves, when we don't embody her by essentially embodying ourselves, realizing where the true power lies in our consent, what we consent to, period. Ultimately, we're denying her. Ultimately, we're rejecting her essence. That is the whole sole purpose of what we're made of. We're made of her. We're made of that essence. And we reject that. Every day we choose to go to work when our body is telling us no. If there's nothing else you listen to on God's green earth, listen to your own body. Use your own discernment. Does this feel right? Am I happy when I'm here? Do I feel like it is an even exchange? Do I feel like they are paying me what my essence is worth? The essence that I consent to, not the essence that I feel guilted into. Is it worth it? Because right now, if I were to lose my home, would I still be okay after I rebuild? Would I still be okay to return back here? Would I still feel like this is worth it? In the grand scheme of things, would I still want to work here? Literally half your day. And it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be spending half of our day at work. You sleep 8 hours, you work 8, that's 16 of 24 hours. Yikes. 16 of 24 hours is sucked from me. Just like that. When quite frankly, it should be the complete opposite. I should give 1/3 of my, you talk about tithing, you talk about how to tithe. Yeah, I'll give 1/3 of my day to work. But the 2/3, that's mine, baby. That's mine, and that's my child's. And that's my husband's. And that's my family's. Yep. Look, I've been working since I was 18 years old. And I give 2/3 of my day for 5 days a week to a company, and to rest, obviously. But the rest don't count. I'm asleep. You think I'm over here building my own empire while I'm resting? You think I'm over here financially sorting out my bank account, financially looking around and seeing what we need from our house? No, I'm asleep. I'm not even here. So essentially, 2/3 of the day, I'm not here.
So like sleep combined with work.
Sleep and work. Dang, are you for real? I can't do math that fast in my head. I'm glad you can. So essentially, in the last 10 years, since I was 18 years old, I've only had a little over 3 years of my actual life. What? And that's not even including the 3 years of that I took of my own personal time to go to school, essentially. And now I do work the weekends. I work 20. When they put me on salary, they said, you're mine all the time. Even on the weekends, even when you're at home with your family, you're mine all the time. Salary should be illegal. It really should. I really feel like salary employees should be illegal. They take advantage. Because what do you mean you're expected to work 24 hours around the clock? You're expected to be on call. When do you feel I should have time for myself then? Right. But they still don't pay you. They don't pay you overtime. Because guess what you're doing, really? You're giving them overtime. Alex, this week alone, baby, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, making sure that my boss had every single detail of the paperwork needed for that incident. You know what I'm talking about without having to say it. But every single detail, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning, still got to work at 9:30. Still got to work at 9:30. What do you mean? What do you mean? And I bet you right now, if I took Monday off unpaid, I would have to hear somebody's voice about something. Somebody would have a complaint about something. Meanwhile, I've already given you my overtime. In fact, I've already earned Monday off with the overtime I did. So guess what? I should be able to take Monday off paid and then some, shawty. And the only reason why I would even consider coming in on Saturday, because I get to come with my family. The only reason why I took the salary is because I get to come in with my husband. We work together. I still get you. You know what I mean? I only feel like it's an even exchange because I get to incorporate my family in this. That is the only reason why I'm still working where I'm working, is because of you. Yes, baby has to go to daycare. That's okay, because guess what? Even at work, I get to pull up my little camera. I get to set up my little iPad, and I get to see my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm not separated from her completely. I get to stay in contact with the daycare workers. Would I prefer to be with her? Absolutely. But I know she's well cared for. I know that they are transparent. I know that these people have hearts. And I know that they enjoy their job. I know that my baby's not in danger. It'll be different if I showed up to work every day, going to bat every single day, and I thought my baby was in danger somewhere. Oh, you said I quit immediately? You said you better, I don't know what you gonna have to do, but something gonna have to shake because mommy's not working. You know what I mean? And it's actually more beneficial now, I feel like, and because I used to be very traditional. I don't want to work. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to be able to enjoy my baby. I want my husband to bust his egg, go to work every day. That's so selfish. Essentially, that's actually really kind of selfish. Selfish in the aspect of like, yeah, you're that child's mother, but that's also that child's father. And the more you put on him to go to work, the less he has to show up when he gets home. I would much rather us both work 8 hours a day and both enjoy Olivia when we get home than for you to work 16 hours a day, you enjoy nothing when you get home, and redo it all again, and I enjoy all day with her. Because that's still a job, essentially. Taking care of Liv, 100% a job. 100%. I'm still going to be burned out. I'm still going to be overwhelmed. When you get home, I'm going to be so grateful that you're here because now I get a break. Meanwhile, you haven't had a break all day. You haven't had a break all day. And people wonder why traditional husbands were so disconnected, why they had a second family, why they were out there cheating. You know what I mean? Because they didn't feel at home. They felt like a cash cow. They're overwhelmed. They had a lot of responsibility. Too much responsibility for one person. Right. And it's not an excuse, because ultimately you're still consenting to it. You're still saying, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Even though it makes me unhappy, I'm going to do it instead of sitting your wife down like, something's got to shake. Something got to give. Because I can't keep going on like this. I'm starting to hate being at work and being at home. It's depressing. Our priorities, yep. Because it's so encoded into our reality. You know what I mean? This is how we've been trained since we were children, right? And there's so much guilt behind it. A lot of people are afraid to be brave because they feel guilty. They're afraid to reclaim their time because they feel guilty. Oh God, I'm letting my coworkers down. Oh God, if I'm not there, that's more work on them. But guess what? They survive. I'm not comfortable with creating more work for anyone else. But the same way that I have the authority and the power within myself to not show up, you have the same power and authority to also not show up. You don't have to do it. And who would you be disappointing? Not yourself, not your family, but the company. And again, these people have CEOs, COOs. You think they're busting there and breaking their neck to get in here and fill in when you're not there? They don't give a They're counting on you to give a They're counting on you to feel guilty for not showing up. Meanwhile, it's their company. If anyone should feel guilty that there's no staff in this, it should be them. They should be doing everything in their power. It would be different if I made a livable wage. And I'm not talking about livable on paper. I'm talking about livable in reality. Am I getting enough time with my daughter? Am I getting enough time away from here? Am I getting enough time that's mine? Am I able to actually afford the things that I want? Am I able to afford the American dream trademark? Or am I selling so much of my essence that I'm not getting anything in return, dog? I'm not asking to own the company. I'm asking to own a home. I'm not asking to own the company. I'm asking to pay off my car, dog. I'm asking for safety. Yes. Thank you. What should be the bare minimum? You should want, as a CEO, you should want for your employees to come to work and want to be there. Not to feel forced, not to feel like guilted into it. You should want for your employees, when they do go home, their lives are thriving because then they're choosing to come to work. They don't have to. They recognize that they don't have to. I'm happy at home. I'm choosing to be here. I have no debt. I'm choosing to be here. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. We're choosing to work together for the greater good, especially in healthcare. You said it's all a company. You said I'll never make you actually healed by showing you how to heal yourself because I'm losing out on money, because I can't profit off of you being sick anymore. Sickening. Literally makes me want to vomit. And who the put these people in charge? Who consented to these psychopaths being in charge? Because you have to be so far disconnected from your own humanity to not see the humanity in other people. You have to be so far disconnected from your own humanity to sell other people. What? You said you don't want it to be equal? You never did? That's the whole point of this? If you could change it around right now, you could simply say, I'm going to start paying people what they're worth. And by asking them, what do you think you're worth? What do you mean there's a cap? What do you mean there's a wage cap on this position? No, there isn't. Unless there's a wage cap on what this company makes. There ain't no cap on that. I don't see nobody saying, oh, this healthcare company can only make $100,000 for the whole year. There ain't no cap on that. They can make as much money as they want, literally. But you're telling me I can't? You're telling me I have to agree to being paid at the bare minimum. The bare minimum. And it can't be negotiated until another year comes around and you're going to give me a 2% raise. You're not even going to let me. I can understand the aspect of proving. I recognize you're a company. I recognize that these are my skills and these are the skills I can bring to your company. Let's agree on a set amount for now. What you feel comfortable with, what I feel comfortable with. And then a year later, if I've proven that I've met that requirement and then some, you're going to pay me what the I'm worth. Yep. Everything that you do at work gets overlooked because it's built into the job description, right? They can't say you're going above and beyond by bathing these patients, by changing these patients, because it's in your job description. I'm not going to disagree with them on that. This is what I've asked you to do. This is what I'm paying you to do. But what you're not paying me to do and what I'm bringing to the table is how I do it. The wholesome part. It takes a special kind of person to change a grown human being that just themselves. Can you imagine how humiliating, degrading it is to lay in a bed and yourself, roll over on your side, and someone else has to wipe your... And there's a way to do it that everyone feels comfortable with. Yes, I'm getting paid to do this. That will never not be the case. But me making you feel comfortable in this, I don't get paid to do that. I can come in this, wipe your ass, and throw the gag on the floor because that's someone else's job to clean it up, right? I don't do that. I make you feel comfortable. I clean up after myself. I make this environment wholesome. That's what deserves the raise. Your essence is what deserves the raise. Were you nasty to them? Did you treat them like a human? Did you treat them like a human? But let's just say you end up in that situation. Who do you want doing it? Who would you want doing it? Someone that's gonna, oh my God, it's stinking here. Oh, this. Do you want someone like that, or do you want someone? Look, I get it. I know this is hard for you. We're gonna make it fast. We'll make it easy. Just give me 1 second. We'll get it done. We don't even have to speak of it. Again, there's no cap on what these people, what the owners, what they can make. There's no cap on that. But there is a cap on how much they pay you. Essentially, I'm not going to say that healthcare workers don't make a decent wage. It's absolutely decent. But is it what you're worth? What you're bringing to the table, your humanity, even your feminine essence. I care for my patients. I care for them as if they are my family. You know what I mean? I know staff tells me I baby them all the time. No one else has. Sometimes you need a little baby in. Sometimes you need to know that someone cares and that you're not just another task on their list today. Because that's someone's daughter. That's someone's mother. That's someone's grandmother. They have a life when they're not here with you. They do. And for you to make them feel like a task, horrible. There's a reason why they are where they're at.
So that's it for this week's This Mess is Holy. If today's conversation touched your spirit, let it linger, share it, send it to a friend, and keep the light moving. We're back every Sunday with more truth, more tenderness, and more of the holy chaos we call life.
Until next time,
remember, even in the mess, there's always something sacred.